Good afternoon, everyone. Recently, when I was in Hong Kong, someone asked me a question regarding her meditation. She said she can't find her breath, and she tried very hard. She tried to find her breath, and she ended up that she had chest pain because she said she can't feel the breath. Then she tried very hard to feel the breath, and she said, I can't find the breath. How? And I'm having chest pain. And I told her, I said, because the harder you try too hard. You can't try to feel the breath. I said, the breath will come to you. And especially, then I give her a suggestion. Like, I said, because of you, most of you, I think, are working. Sometimes you need to work and just came back from work and with the busyness. And it's very difficult for the mind to just sit and you just, focus on the breath. You can't. Because breath is a very subtle object. It's subtle. And because of with the busyness, our mindfulness is not refined enough to be able to focus on the breath. Because the breath is something that is more subtle. So when we are busy, our mind is very busy. So our mindfulness is not as refined. So it's a more coarser. So then it's very difficult. It is normal. So that's why we have to understand and how to create the conditions, the cause for good meditation. So we have to understand what the mind does. So that is like a transition period. Like the mind is too busy. It's just like a car travel on the highway 120 kilometers per hour. It's so quick. You can't expect it to stop, isn't it? Immediately you can't. The mind also the same thing. And I have some people come to me and said that they try to stop the mind thinking. They try to push and push. Whenever the thinking comes, they push it away. The more they push it, and they ended up sitting there for an hour, they're really exhausted. And it's pushing is not, you can't push the thinking away. You can't. And because it's the mind being busy, the mind just doing its own thing. It's important to understand that. So then you just have to allow that to be. So when we start, when our mind is busy, and we just sit there, I remember many years ago when I was in Thailand, one of the Kruba Ajahn, he did suggest that one of the method, he said, sometimes you just have to allow the mind wander off a little bit, just let it be. Actually, I realized actually it's work. It did work, because I remember at one point I tried too hard, like try not to think, try not to allow the thoughts come into my mind, and I just trying too hard. And when I listened to what he said, and then I went back to my kuti, I tried that. Actually, it did work. I just, okay, mind to want to wander off, fine. I allow to wander off. At least I know what's happening in this moment. I know that my mind is busy, it's fine, it's okay. I allow to. That's with kindness, with softness, with the gentleness. Because sometimes we are too hard to the mind. So we push and we try too hard. The harder we try, the further away from what we want to achieve. We get it more difficult, So that is you allow the mind, It's okay. So you just sit there. You can't feel the breath. It's fine. You just know. And then if your mind busy, it's fine. Just allow the mind, Just allow the mind be. And this is one way, to allow it. And another way that, is also a good practice that we try to go to a coarser object. Because the breath is more refined. So the coarser object, like I suggest to this woman to do a sweeping technique. Because the sweeping technique is go through the body and with the feelings, the sensation. Because it is the object is coarser. because the breath is more refined, and you give the mind something to do. And then she tried, because I was giving guided meditations and a talk at this Hong Kong education department institution. So this education institution, yeah. That and then she said that I can't feel anything. Because I try to go through sweeping, from the top of the head, go to each part of the body, like to see to pay attention, on the sensation, the feelings, go through the body. Then I said, it's fine when you go through. Sometimes you don't have tension, you don't feel anything, and maybe sometimes I said your mindfulness is still even coarser than that. Even you go to a coarser object, But I said it's fine. I said you just keep, sweeping down, and then that still help you to calm your mind down. You just sit there and not to rush to try to look for the breath. So we do it. We just relax. Whenever we sweep through, from the top of our head, so we go through from the forehead, go to the back of our ear and to the neck, and from the right side and the left side, and we just see, is there any tension, any tightness? And when there's any tension, any tightness, you just relax, and it's help to relax, because sometimes with the busyness we tend to have lots of tension in the body, and this is help us to relax the body. So when we relax the body and the mind started to calm down, when the mind calm down, it's easy for the mind, to focus on the breath. And then funny enough, if you do it properly, when you just bring the mind to this present moment awareness, just naturally doing this sweeping techniques, aware of the sensation. If you don't feel anything, it doesn't matter. You just go through the body. And at least this is, so keep your mind, rather than the mind wander off and thinking something else, to give the mind some work to do. So it's some things like, help to calm the mind down. It's another way of calming the mind. So when your mind calms down, it's natural. The breath, you don't even have to try very hard to look for the breath. Actually, it's the breath will come to you. The breath will come to look for you. You can feel it very easily. So it's very obvious. Because when your mind calms down, you can feel the breath easy, very obvious. You can feel it because your mind, then because you're in the present moment of awareness. That's why it's important that a lot of people think that meditation, sitting meditation, then you shouldn't have any thoughts. You shouldn't think. And no, because meditation is something natural. We can't push the mind, we can't force the mind not to think. We allow it natural. And for example, sometimes in the morning, sometimes we used to get up early in the morning, like 3 o'clock. And at times, I have this slot on top, because it's so early. 3 o'clock, you have to get up. And I just sit there, and sometimes the mind is just feel down, and then the mind just slot on top. Actually, I just sat there, allowed the mind to do its own thing. Then actually, after a while, the mind just slop, and then I just acknowledge that, knowing that what's happening, and then you just go and just allow the mind. After a while, slowly, I got the one that slot on top pass. Sometimes that the car is just that is a reflection, because of we just allow it. There is practicing letting go. We allow, because sometimes we fight. We do not allow. That's the slot on top, because it's sometimes partly because of the body. When we are tired, then when we are, when we have a lot of busyness, and it's just natural. But But we think that is wrong. We think that we shouldn't have a slot and topper. We shouldn't have this. We are not accepting. So then we try to interfere. We try to make it, we try to force the mind to focus. You can't. So we allow it. This is letting go. Allow the mind to have kindness and compassion towards the mind with the gentleness, not too hard to the mind. So we allow. Then, and then after a while, the slot and topper is past. Because this state of mind, that would not stay there forever. If you just leave it, it will pass. When it's come to the maximum point, it's past. It will not stay there forever. But because the more we try to interfere, the more we try to do something, actually it's getting worse. We are reinforced that. You feel more tired and down. Then that's why it's slot and topper. So you allowed it. And then after a while, that's gone. Then I feel really fresh. And I'll be able to focus on the breath. And it's interestingly that the breath becomes so nice and soothing. And so I feel so calm and so nice. Then I started to enjoy my breath so much because it's so nice. Actually, nothing special with the breath. Actually, the breath is just the air going in and the air going out. But that is the reflections of our mind. This how our mind, the perception of our mind, that when our mind is calm, so when we perceive the breath we feel calming, it's very nice breath. So that is because the mind, feel is started to calm and have the inner peace. Then, of course, most of the time when I started to really enjoy, I got into that, really be able to focus with my breath. Of course, that my alarm goes off, but because I need to go back because we need to stay in the monastery, that we have to go back to the cottage to have our breakfast, 6:30 is our breakfast. So normally I stop meditating at 6 o'clock. So then to get ready to go back to the cottage. Then I said, I'm just enjoying. I'm just so nice. Stop. So that is actually is allowed it. Because if you try to fight with that, you try to interfere, that is actually letting go, is letting it be. Even whatever we experience this moment, we allowed it to be. We letting it be. That is letting go. The problem is we want it to be otherwise. And then the harder we try to interfere, and then it's become counterproductive. So this is another way. We just let the mind a little bit, wander off a little bit. Actually, it did work. And if you really, do it properly. And it's actually important. It's not whether you can focus on the object is that important. The most important whether you're aware what your mind state right now, this moment. Whether your mind is very busy, you have lots of talks, thinking. You just know that, okay, thinking, yes, that's thinking. You just let it be. But of course, if you started to go into the thinking, then you start to go into this papancha, this the mental fabrication, and then you can even write a books, a story about this thinking, and then you travel to Siberia. So of course that you already been trapped in, but with the thinking it's all right. It's nothing wrong with the thinking. So we allowed the thinking, we allowed it to be, we just aware of the thinking is there. And then we just gently bring the mind back to your meditation object. So this is all the skillful means to help you, to calm the mind down. So today I would like to have this to lead this to have these guided meditations about the sweeping technique, and this is one way to help you when sometimes that with lots of busyness and you can't focus, and this is another techniques, another way to help you to calm the mind down. So wherever you have any tension, tightness, whichever part of your body, you just relax and tell yourself, relax. And you feel that there's the shoulder, there is some tightness, and you relax. Then after a while, when you finish the whole body, then your body just relax. When your body is relaxed, your mind is really calm. When your mind calm, then you start to pay attention on your breath. So you go back to the breath. So today, we are going to do that this afternoon. That we start with the sweeping techniques. Then after that, a guided meditations about the sweeping techniques. Then after that, we go back to the breath. So I think now we can start. So you just sit comfortably. So any posture that you feel comfortable as you can. Just make your body feel comfortable. You start to bring the awareness into this body. Start from the top of your head. So you start to move your awareness from the top of your head to the right side and behind your ear and to your neck. And see if there's any feelings, sensations, or whether there's tightness, pulling, tensions, whatever sensations, feelings. And just acknowledge that. And just aware that feelings. And just touch and go. And not to go into that feelings. Just aware the feelings is there, the sensation is there. And you move from the top of your head and to your left, the back of your head, right side, left side of your ear, and to the left neck. And if you feel there is some tensions or tightness and pulling, then you just very gently and softly and say to yourself, relax. Try to relax. So from the top of your head to your forehead, your right eyebrow, so around your eyes, and to your cheek, down to your jaw, right side of your jaw. Is there any tension, any tightness, whatever sensations that you're experiencing? Just aware that. And from the top of the head to the forehead, to the left side of your eyes, around your eyes, and down to your cheek and to your chin. And your left side of your jaw. And how you feel this? Is it there's any tightness on your face? tension. So you just put on a big smile and tell yourself, relax. And from your right jaw down to your neck and to your shoulder. And just relax. From the left side of your jaw to your neck and to your shoulder. And just relax. So from the back of your neck, see there is any tightness, tension, or pulling on your neck. Just relax. And slowly you move down your spine all the way to your waist and to your back. And feel there's some pressure, the pressing point. Is there any tightness, tension? Then you just relax your body. Now from your right, from your shoulder to your arms, to your hand, and to your fingers, and slowly down to the tip of your finger. Is there any tension? Is there any tightness? And you just relax. If you don't feel anything, it's fine. So from your left shoulder, your left arms, move the left arms down to your hand, the finger, all along to the fingertips. And just relax. And from your right side of your waist, you just move down to your thigh, right thigh, to your knee, to your leg, and to your feet, to your right foot, and to the sole of the foot, and to the tip of the toe. Is there any tension, tightness, pulling, whatever sensations that you feel right now? And just relax. Now from the left side of your waist, go down to your left thigh, to your knee, down to your leg, to your left foot, to the sole of the foot, and right to the tip of the toe. So whatever feelings, sensations that you're experiencing right now, and just acknowledge that, but not to go into that sensations and feelings. Just touch and go. And now from the tip of your toe, from your right side, your foot, your leg, come out to your knee, and come out to your thigh, your right thigh, and to your waist. And now from the left side of your toes, from the tip of the toes, go to the sole of the feet. And the left foot, you move up to your leg, to your knee, to the thigh, and to your waist. And you relax. From right side of your waist, you come up to your chest. And the left side of the waist, and move up to the chest. That you feel in the middle of the chest. Is there any tightness? And as now you started to feel your chest is started to expand, open, because you're relaxed and you're calm. And you can feel the openness in your heart. You're opening the door of your heart to this moment and allow the breath to come to you and invite the breath to you. And very gently, you bring your awareness onto the breath, onto the in-breath and out-breath. And you continue to focus and bring your awareness onto your breath. Any questions or comments? This question is about, I have a very serious chronic illness in the lungs. Every time I breathe, there is a very sharp, strong pain. I also have fevers and feel weak. I try not to take medicine, only lying down. Should I take medicine and be able at least to sit in meditations or not? So, regarding these questions, actually, if we have too much pain, it's difficult for us to focus. So, if you need medicine, for example, like with a headache, we need it. So, at least we can sit, because sometimes it's disturbed. Of course, like some people that have very strong mind, they be able to see through the pain. But not everybody to have that strong mind. They have this. So advanced. The minds be able to see through the pain. Of course, if we be able to see through the pain, then it's good. But if we can't, then we need to take medicine. It's good to take medicine to reduce the pain, because a lot of people, they're just concerned about the side effect. Actually, if we reflect on the Buddha's teaching, this uncertainty of life, we don't even know whether tomorrow we're still alive, isn't it? So then people worry about the side effect will come, maybe 20 years, 15 years. Sometimes the side effect only happen, after many years. So we don't know. So that's why if we are having pain, that's especially really sharp pains that we can't sit, then it's good to take medication. So this is my answer for this. And the second question is, after the body sweep, when you are paying attention to the breath, my body have still these tensions and the feelings of bit nauseous or sick. Should I go back to feel that feelings again, or should I stay with the breath? So if you still have that, because the tensions, because actually when you have the tensions, so sometimes it causes that we have this nauseous that happening. So if you still have that happen, it's still tense, so your body is not calm. So actually it's fine. We don't have to quickly, to rush into the breath. We just relax, until the body relax. Then only we go to the breath. Because sometimes that your body is still, sometimes that it takes longer time. And to go back to be with that feelings, and until that you be able to stay with the breath. So any questions or comments from anyone here? Yes, there's a mic.
Is it the body have the four elements?
Uh-huh.
So we have to balance the four elements for the body to...
Yeah, actually,
the air, by breathing, the air, and the earth, just to balance the four elements.
Actually, sometimes the body actually will give, sometimes it got the signal from the body. As time we need more water, then we feel really thirsty. You know, that's why sometimes we have to listen to the body and pay attention to the body. Sometimes we do need more water, we drink more water. Sometimes, like for example, like the body feel tired, so you need to, rest.
So it's that balancing.
Yeah, because actually if you pay attention to the body, they give you the signal. Sometimes we need certain things, then we feel like we crave for certain things. Then because the body lack of that. So a lot of time people just ignore the body, because sometimes the body actually, they give you the signal what the body needs. So that's why it's good that we pay attention to that. But of course, there's some meditations that they do is that to observe the 4 elements. The 4 elements, the earth elements, the water elements, the air elements, the fire elements, the heat, that the 4 elements. So that's why sometimes like when there is a hardness there, that is the earth element. So like when early days I used to do those, I used to meditate and like observing that 4 elements. So sometimes my body, like my neck tends to be very hard and tense. So I just observe the tenseness. And the tenseness, they come to the max, because they will not go up, not coming down. They come to a maximum point, it's dissolved. Then I can feel the cracking sound of the tightness, like my whole neck. And sometimes like I pay attention to the air element. So the air element, you feel the vibrations of the air. The body, you feel the vibration. That the vibration actually is the air element. Then you feel the vibrations in the body. So sometimes the vibrations is so much that it's like explosion. That is the air element. And sometimes people feel really cold. That is a heat or cold. That is the element there. And sometimes you feel like when you pay attention, sometimes you feel like you think there is a sweat. Coming down, but actually it's nothing. That is just the water element. So actually be able to observe that actually your mind is really quite, it's really to a point that you have the concentrations and the mind is really calm enough to be able to see, to be able to observe the 4 elements, because this is very subtle. So, okay, thank you. I think that's it, because I need to have this AGM at 4:30. Yes? Yeah, use the mic.
Venerable, when you feel the 4 elements, when you are at that position, do you still continue to meditate through?
Yeah, you just be with that feelings. Like for example, you have vibrations, you just feel the vibration, but it comes and goes. So this is how you do it. Then you understand that is the nature of all things. You observe the arising and passing away of all the feelings, all the phenomena, like even the mind, the feelings, the sensations, they won't stay. They all arises, they're passing away. So actually that's also, you can understand that everything, that is arises and passing away. You just allow that. And they will not go, for example, the earth element, that it becomes very tense, and to a point that to the maximum points, it will dissolve itself. It will not continue to be tense and tense, It arises, it will pass away naturally. This is the nature of all things. So I think that's it.